164, and 164 is pinned, and a real spring in the step of Archie Self.
The bullseye is there to be hit, and the bullseye is hit. What a brilliant finish of Archie Self. And look at the smile, you couldn't wipe it off his face. So what was it like sharing the stage with Luke Littler?
Oh, it was brilliant. I mean, obviously I played him in the England Grand Prix finals and at the Europe Cup in 2022. It was just brilliant. I mean, just watching him throw, and he's just...
If you saying, the one thing I want to do is be here and play here. That must have been, when you did get on the stage, a real dream fulfilled.
Yeah, I mean, it was all week. I was like, from the Monday to the Sunday of the week before, I was just so excited because I knew it was my week this week.
Welcome along. This is the Tungsten Talk here at the MODUS Super Series, where we delve into the careers of some of the players that have played here at the Super Series. I suppose this one's not so much a career so far, but more what the future looks like. We're alongside Archie Self, the 16-year-old sensation, alongside Glenn Dunn. What was the saying? I was the future once?
Well, I was just trying to think what I was doing at 16-year-old. So yeah, actually looking forward to some of the responses from Archie. He's a really top player, and at 16-year-old to be applying his trade, representing his country. I'm looking forward to hear what he has to say about it.
First of all, let's talk about you and the Super Series, because you made your debut on your 16th birthday. What was that like?
Oh, it was brilliant. I mean, I just came into the week just hoping for one win. Just one win, and I've been happy. And to get two after the first day with 102 average in one of them, it was just fantastic.
What's it like when you're playing your trade against the more senior players? Because I think the biggest compliment that I think we can pay you is the fact that you're in arenas like this, which a lot of senior pros find very daunting, but yet you've kind of made yourself at home here.
Yeah, I mean, I think playing the likes of Mervyn King and Roby John, they've helped me in my performances this week, and especially Gary Mawson. All right, that 107 hurt me on Monday, but yeah, I mean, I like playing against the men's side instead of the youth, because I think I play better against the men than the youth.
Is it because that air of opposition being, you know that when you're in a situation you have to hit?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, especially when I think on Monday when I played Mervyn King, I missed 43 to go 2-all, and he took out 130 and punished me.
There used to be a thing, Henry, where, you know, a 16-year-old playing Merv King, where Merv would be really nervous, but I think them days are gone now. I mean, we're probably a minute into the interview and already saying the word Luke Littler as well. I just think gone are the days where there's that real taboo about a 16-year-old playing a top-class player. I mean, Archie's there on merit. He's a class act. Age doesn't seem to be any sort of barrier right now.
You mentioned the word taboo there. And I suppose it speaks about the development of where darts as a sport is, because even if you go back 10, 15 years ago, it was a sport that had originated in a pub, a sports club, something like that. So only over 18s could play in it. But you look at what the JDC has done and other academies across the country have done. It's normalised people at teenage age to play darts into a very high level.
Yeah, Henry, one of the great things I have about my life at the moment is the opportunity to work with academies. Obviously, I'm doing a lot of coaching now, and you know, it's incredible. I mean, there really is the players that are coming through. I noticed when Archie played for England, we've got a young lad by the name of Ryan Branley, super talented. You know, his skills and abilities are off the charts, and you know, we're so excited to see the Henry Courts of this world. You know, for Archie, how they're going to progress to the next phase. But the 10, 11, 12-year-olds coming to the academy, there's plenty of Archies to come on this stage on their 16th birthday, rest assured.
I can imagine academies was kind of a key part as to your development, right?
Yeah, I think, it was like when I was about 7 or 8, there was a local one in Andover that we used to go to, and then from then we stopped going to academies and just focused on tournaments.
So where did the idea of starting in an academy come, and where did, I suppose, your parents kind of pick up the idea of putting you into an academy?
Yeah, I think I think my parents had to give me a choice between football or darts, and I chose darts, and that's when we started the academies and tried to progress all the way through and to where I am today.
Archie, I'm keen to find out a little bit about you as well. I mean, is it natural Are you are you quite diligent in your work? I mean, do you practice hard? I mean, just a little bit of that side of how you've progressed so quickly.
Yeah, I think I was putting in an hour or 2 hours every day for about, I think, over 6 months when I was like 8 or 9. And then when I was getting towards like the 60 to 70 averages, that's when I was just having to rest the days because it was just too much darts.
And who were the players that you sort of looked up to locally and, you know, and sort of globally as the players that you've sort of looked at to inspire you?
To be fair, when I was obviously young, it was obviously Luke Humphreys. He was from our area. We had Paul Hogan, who's from our area, Jason Heaver, and I've looked up to him ever since, and they're still look up to him today.
How important are role models for yourself?
Well, yeah, they help me towards my darts. Obviously, like we have Jason that plays on the Tuesday vaults, and I play him most finals every week, and sometimes I beat him, sometimes I don't. But it's just a learning curve.
And in terms of the success that you had, it's fair to say that very quickly was your name someone that was on the radar of a lot of people, because particularly in terms of the WDF boys stuff, you were just mopping up, weren't you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously last year I was a bit lucky to get there to Lakeside, and then a bit lucky in my first game, but then obviously I felt comfortable back on that stage, and I managed to win the title.
It is a special stage to play great darts on, and that's something we can both agree on there. But to be beating Jensen Walker in the final as well, who's going on to great things, can you just try and bottle those 5 to 10 seconds afterwards? How did it feel? Did it feel real?
No. I was pinching myself afterwards thinking, am I in a dream or not? But yeah, it was brilliant to play Jensen, and to beat him was just, it was unbelievable.
Because I remember at the time, Jensen was a very heavy favourite to go and win that final. He had a fantastic year, not just on the youth tour, but obviously on the senior tour as well. So for yourself going into that final, because you were the underdog, I suppose, against Jensen, did that give you a little bit of freedom? You could just go out there, express yourself, play your own game, and anything that came of it is kind of a bonus, really.
To be fair, yeah, I think obviously the first game I played, I was nervous, and then when I played Lex, I was perfectly fine. But then I was thinking, if I just play like that, I'll be fine. And it was the first set, and I got a bit nervous, obviously, because it's a final, world final, and then I thought, just relax, play a game, and you'll be fine. And I was, and I managed to play how I normally can, and I won the title.
Yeah, Lex is a great player in his own. He had his real high as well that year as well. Are you keeping an eye? I mean, is there any other names that you can sort of give as our potential rising stars?
Yeah, I mean, we've got a couple from Mission that's just come through. We've got like Addison Heffron, he's about 11 or 12, and he can throw a good dart. And got Jay Cobbs as well, from our region as well, he can throw another good dart. And you've got a couple from the island, like Alfie O'Flynn, and yeah, a lot of them.
So it's basically like a conveyor belt then of talent coming through.
Yeah, I mean, Darryl looks at me and goes, if you see any youth kids that are good for signing, message me and he'll have a look and sign them on. And, like, we've had Jay Cobbs, Addison Heffron, obviously a lot of them from my personal view to sign them on.
The one thing that stands out for me, and I think you're going to say exactly the same thing, is how there's almost like a scouting program now for young players, and different manufacturers are looking very much at that. And we've seen, obviously, through certain manufacturers, how they've had elite level programs and players to develop from that to become one of their main core players. It's how the sport has really changed over the last few years.
Yeah, and I'm not hearing too many negatives. I mean, you know, we've had issues of managers getting players on percentages, and when they get the tour cards, etc., that's when it can create a little bit of a gripe. But I've never heard anything too much. I mean, you know, they mentioned Mission, Target, Harrows, etc., Winmau. I mean, they're all scouting for young players because, you know, we've seen it from the best, and, you know, darts has never been in such a good place. I was at Blackburn Academy recently. You know, it's just the professionalism, Henry, of the actual academies are great. And, you know, our Teesside Academy's only been going 6 months, and already we're seeing players come through that we would never have seen it. You talked about the culture of working men's clubs. Well, it's all changed, and that's only a benefit for the likes of Archie. But here at the MODUS Super Series is the biggest opportunity in all, and to get that on your 16th birthday, that is a real special moment. That no one will ever take that away from Archie.
In terms of manufacturers, well, being involved, I suppose there's also that sort of safeguarding thing that's got to be there in place. Because for every player that does what Archie self does, there's going to be another one that perhaps fall by the ways. And there's been conversation in other sports, particularly football, with like their programs and how players get released from football clubs, and maybe there's not the aftercare, that after duty. Is that something that over time manufacturers are going to have to look into for when they do sign up players, and maybe for one or two it doesn't quite work out for them?
I think it's a great question. It just depends how big darts is going to get, but I can honestly say with the work that I'm doing with the PDPA, I've never had a young player come to me and say, you know, I feel like I've been sacrificed with a deal that I signed 2 or 3 years ago. People like being associated with the dart manufacturers. There's so much coming through. So I think in that respect, you know, the work that the people like Lorraine Winstanley, Darryl Fitton are doing for their organisations, it's working.
Can you kind of tell us what Darryl does for you in terms of you and in your darts?
Yeah, well, he makes us. He doesn't make us. Sometimes he messages the Mission Academy lot saying do these challenges like Bob's 27, checkouts, all sorts, Shanghai's, and and it helps us towards our game.
So in a certain ways, to kind of put a phrase, he's a little bit like a coach to a certain extent. He's giving you things to kind of work on and improve you as a player, pretty much. Yeah,
100%. Like he obviously, like I said, he gives us challenges to do it in our houses, and it's just wonderful.
And then Darryl's just been on the PDPA Level 1 coaching course as well, which was great for us. We were under pressure a little bit to see such a high representative from Mission Darts actually being there as well. And he said it went so. And so it's great to hear that Darryl's then, you know, passing out, you know, the expertise that he's got, because I seen a fascinating interview with him where he said, I can't sustain playing darts for long. He can still do 105 average, but he said the next day he can barely walk if he's done well in a tournament there. So it's great that, you know, there's a fine line between a mentor, a manager. There's that fine line there, and if you can inspire one of these young players, that's the great work that they're doing.
Right, let's go back to you and some of the things that you've done. First and foremost, what was it like sharing a stage with Luke Littler?
Oh, it was brilliant. I mean, obviously, I played him in the England Grand Prix finals and the Europe Cup in 2022. It was just brilliant. I mean, just watching him throw, and he's just... And then, I mean, I got close to him in the England Grand Prix. I missed tops to beat him 5-4 and lost 5-4. But, yeah, in Europe Cup, he was just different gravy.
What was it like to wear the shirt, to wear the England shirt on that occasion?
Oh, it was just brilliant. Because, I mean, the team that year, we had Thomas Banks, Charlie Manby and Luke Littler, who's all 1 weeks in. It was just brilliant.
First thing I eyed up straight away, all 1 weeks here. That's very much on the radar for you here, isn't it?
Hopefully, as long as I can get through this group and get to Saturday night, it'll be brilliant.
In terms of, you mentioned some of the stuff you've done with the England Grand Prix and some of the stuff you've done with the JDC. Just kind of shine a light into those tournaments, kind of what the purposes of those are, and kind of what they've done to aid your development as a player. Yeah,
I think the first time I went to JDCs, I was like a 60-odd average to 70-odd average player. And then a year or 2 or 3 years into the tour, I was getting high 80 averages. I won the Advanced Tour last year, and then, it's just put me in a great spot where I am right now.
And in terms, I suppose, of the not too distant future, obviously you're going to be playing here this week. I imagine you want to be going to win a week here as well. What does the beginning of next year look? Obviously, you're now eligible to compete at Q-School. Is that something you'd look at doing straight away, or are you thinking, actually, I'll just take a year to work out what I want to do?
We're going to give it a go this year just for the experience. So if I don't get through this year, we'll have a go again next year with better experience. The development tour would be obviously brilliant, now I can play in that as well, and maybe the challenge tour as well.
You keep saying we as well there, Archie. Is that a family thing, or is that more like a manufacturer? Is it a team? Because obviously we've seen the headlines with Luke at the moment where it's pretty much like a family-run business now. Is that what you mean by the word we?
Yeah, I think me and my dad are going to have a go at this year at the Q-School. Is what he said. We'll wait for him until I'm 16 and we'll both have a go at it, and yeah.
And then beyond that, I suppose, because I suppose now you have crossed that gap, so many more doors have opened for yourself, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I'm keen about this place as well. Obviously, we're very proud of how the MODUS Super Series has evolved as well. What is that stage like? Is it everything that you hoped it would be? And is it a stage where you like, because sometimes a player, when you mentioned Lakeside, when I first stood on there, it just felt right. You just felt like this is a stage where I can win matches. Are you getting that same feeling behind your shoulder?
Yeah, I mean, I've loved every minute and every second of playing it here. I mean, the stage is brilliant, and it's just a great throw, and I've loved it all.
I remember when you just won your Boys World Championship, you came up here for an interview, because you came and watched on a Saturday night here at the Super Series, and I remember in that interview you saying, the one thing I want to do is be here and play here. That must have been, when you did get on the stage, a real dream fulfilled.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, all week, like, from the Monday to the Sunday of the week before, I was just so excited because I knew it was my week this week, and just wanted to show the world what I can do, and, well, so far I've done that.
So, if he were to be sat here again in a few years' time, what does Archie Self want to achieve in this sport? What does he want to come back to this conversation and say, I've done this?
Hopefully achieve a tour card. If not, then just win either a development tour or at least one challenge tour.
I mean, the pathway is there, Henry, isn't it? I mean, he's talked quite well about the JDC, and, you know, I think he's done a little bit of Super League, the Grand Prix, the development tour. If he goes to Q School, doesn't get, then there's the challenge tour. But we've spoke quite candidly about the opportunities for amateur players right now within the WDF system and here at the MODUS Super Series. It's not the end of the world for a 16-year-old star not to get the tour card. So I wouldn't, the only bit of advice I would give him right now is don't put too much pressure on yourself at Q School this time. I have a saying that you never lose, you learn, and just go, and whatever happens at Q School, pick out the good points.
Archie, thank you for popping up for a chat. Really do appreciate it. Thank you for watching the Tungsten Talk here at the MODUS Super Series.